Okay, now I'm going to lift that off and hopefully not ruin everything. And now I'm going to go in and first I'm going to clean up this mess around my canvas that I've got going on. And now I'm going to put another mask on a little bit closer and spray. Some other colors. Let that set for a second and then blot it. And what's cool is the paper towels is giving it its own effect as well. So it's kind of giving it more texture. And luckily, because I put the coat of Mod Podge over the thing, I can wipe off any of the paint that gets on it and it won't stay on it because the Mod Podge is protecting it. So the picture's still intact. Spray over here. Get some of the green. Give it a second to set a little bit and then go in and lift some of it out. You can lift as much or as little as you want. You can keep layering. That's why I'm lifting more than I'm, leaving on, so that I can layer it and get the desired look that I want, rather than just leaving on splotches and then going, oh wait, that was too much. Or because once it's dry, it's dry. Put some more. What color is that? Pink. Whoops, dropping stuff all over. And then we want this green here. And there it is. You can't draw it a little bit. And then before it dries all the way, that's when we can do our lifting. And then dry it. dries nice and quickly. Oops, I didn't want that color there. Oops, I keep thinking that the pink is going to be in that bottle. That's the color I wanted. And then start lifting. Okay, I pretty much have it where I want it. Now I just want to take care of the sides a little bit and get them kind of painted up. Okay, so now my edges are finished. You always want to finish your edges because this type of thing, this type of mixed media project, you know, it's not going to go in a frame. If it's going to be hung, it's going to be hung just the way it is, like a canvas. So you want to always finish your edges. It just makes it look better. It gives it a more finished appearance. and just looks better. And I'm going to put that over here for a second so I can clean off my little zebra work area, the baby wipe, because I'm making a mess. And we're going to be doing some stamping and some more painting of the clock pieces and all the different things. That'll be the next step. It's always helpful to have a clean work area as much as possible. It's hard to do with mixed media. It always ends up being messy. Okay, so we'll put this back up here so we can get an idea. And now this color, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a bit bright. I'll be muting that down. That's where the watered down gesso will come in a little bit later. But right now I want to add some stamping to it. Stuff like that, just to give it a little, you know, a little more interest. So I'm going to find a stamp or two. I might stamp one of my ladies on here. I could stamp her on. I have this really pretty stamp. Not sure if you could see it in the camera, but she's real pretty, and it would be nice to put her over here or over here, but I'm not sure if I do that I'll have a lot of room for stuff. I'm trying to think about how to do that. See. See if I put those there. And I don't even remember what I had over here. I think I had Journey was up here. I can always put the words down here too. Not sure where I'm going to put it. Now I have the 2 clock hands, and I think a half of a gear, 2 clock hands, and the butterfly, which I may put something else there, not sure yet. And I could still put some things over that would go over top of, well, if I put her, I could put her there. And I could still put a few things in the corner if I wanted, like flowers. I can always stamp her, and if she gets covered up, she gets covered up. So be it. But I just want to figure out sort of what I've got going on. Because, I mean, the music note would be cute because she's dancing, so that would kind of be cute. She's getting her groove on. Butterfly could go here. And a couple of things sticking out like this. That could be cute. Thinking. Do you smell the gears burning? Maybe not, because I'm probably going to end up covering her up if I do that. Because I do want to put my fabric down and some lace and stuff like that. So maybe not this time. Okay, so I got some lace I want to put down, just a couple pieces, maybe a piece like that, maybe going over the side to like there, so I'll cut that. So it can go like this. That's so pretty. And then I might want to put another piece. Let's see what else I got in my lace bucket. Got quite a few lace buckets actually. Let's see, let me get my big trim bucket out. Okay, let's see what we got. I've got some pearls. We'll probably use them. I've got some white iridescent rope I can put that over there. I got some more lace. I got lace coming out the yin yang. Ooh, that's pretty. Actually put that over the Eiffel Tower. Or underneath of it, actually, would be pretty. Maybe I'll do that. Either which way? That way? Yeah, there we go. We will put that. Alright, so that'll go there. Alright, let's see. This on top. Yeah, make it just like that. Playing with lace is always fun. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, and that's it for the lace. I'll put this piece over here. Piece there and that piece there. Okay, that's it for the lace. I'm not saying I'm not going to use other trims, but as far as the lace goes, we're done. Okay, so I'm going to hot glue the lace down because it's usually the easiest way to get it to stay put. Okay. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. If you want to see anyway. Maybe you don't want to see what I'm doing. Ah, crap. I snagged it by accident. There we go. No big deal. Okay. Hopefully you can see this. I'm trying to make it somewhat easy to see, but that doesn't always mean that's going to work out that way. Okay, that piece is down. It's easiest to start on the side. I usually always do the painting first and then lay down the fabric, and I kind of have it worked out that way. It works best for me. That may not be how it works for you, but I try to do my painting, you know, like, or sorry, my modeling paste first. Obviously, you know, if I'm going to use a napkin, I'll put it on first, but if I'm going to use a different type of graphic, I might not put that down first. It kind of depends on what kind of graphic I'm using for that part. But as far as like, you know, as far as like the steps I go through, the process I usually go through, I usually gesso the canvas, obviously, and then I put my modeling paste down, because sometimes I'll put some over top when I'm done too. It's like I said, it depends on what I'm doing, but mostly that's what I do is, you know, the modeling paste first, then the painting or spraying in this case, and then the fabric, and then I start layering on the junk, the other junk. It usually is easier for me to do it that way. I lost that piece. There it is. It just makes, I don't know, it just was always, it's easy for me to do it that way. It doesn't always happen that way, but most of the time it kind of seems to work out that way. I'm going to attempt to make a better edge to this, I should say. There we go, like that. And what's nice about fabric or lace and stuff, you can always spray your paint sprays over top of them and they'll pick up whatever color you want. So if you wanted to actually, not even when they're on the canvas, but just in general, if you have white and you want it to be a light blue, you could spray your paint sprays on it, let it dry, because the alcohol in it, it's not going to get real stiff, so it'll still be completely pliable and, you know, still usable in that way, and it makes it, you know, a really nice way to dye your own fabric. Where in this case, you know, I'm gonna mute these down a bit and probably, you know, either gesso over them a little bit or spray them with something or do something with them. I'm not positive yet. I'm kind of on step one of this part. Now after the fabric, that's when I start to go in and lay this type of stuff in. And I want to paint these, but I'm not exactly sure what color I want to paint them. I'm thinking maybe like a teal color. I'm not sure if I want to paint spray them or I might want to do this teal, but it's kind of bright, so I might actually do a paint for that. I might use the teal and dirty it up a little bit, because for me that's what works best. Because I don't want to have such a bright color, but I do like this color and I think it would look good, but I need to dirty it up. Make it dirty by adding some brown. So let's see what happens when we put some teal and a tiny bit of brown, and take a paintbrush and mix that together and see what happens. Did I mix too much brown in there? I might have. That's okay. I can always add more teal. I might like that color though. That's kind of a nice color if I had a piece of paper. Let's see. That's kind of a cool color. Trying to think. Do I want that dark of a color? No, I don't want it that dark. So I'm just going to add some teal and brighten that back up. I'm also going to lighten it a little bit with, not this, where'd it go? No, that's not what I want. I want this. Just gonna mix that up and see what happens. I love mixing paint too. That's fun. It's fun to discover cool colors and play. Okay, we're gonna need way more of that to get this lightened up because I put just a tad too much brown in there. That's okay. It can always be fixed. And if not, you start over, but you got a cool color anyway. I might have to add some white to this to get it to lift a little bit. Let me see what I got now. Do I like that? Trying to decide if I like that or not. I do like the color, but I almost want to lift it a little bit more. I think I'm going to add some white and see what happens. And what's nice is, even though I'm adding a lot of paint here, I can have this color in this container for other projects because obviously it has a lid. Ooh, now I'm getting somewhere. Okay, I think I've got the color down. Okay, so that was the first attempt. That was the second attempt. And here's the third and probably final attempt, because this is just enough pop of color, but it's a nice light color. And that, I think, complements it much better. So, yep, we're good to go. I knew I'd get there eventually. It just took a few tries, that's all. No biggie. Okay, so I'm going to set my canvas aside. I'm going to start painting these doodads, I think. Do I want to do, now here's another question, do I want to do them all in that one color, or do I want to split it up? Well, what I can do is, I can do some in that color, and some in this green color, which or I made this robin's egg blue. I can do them in that and green, and like this green, muted down this, just kind of this, I guess. I don't know. If I add one tiny drop of the brown to this, to dirty it up, we'll see what happens then. Dirty up this green a little bit so it's not so bright. First I put too much, now I don't put enough. Ooh. I hope I didn't, oh God, don't spill. I swear I'm a mess. Okay, let's see what we got. And of course, I think I added too much. Well, it gives us a nice mossy green. I kind of like that. Let me see. Paintbrush, get another piece of paper. Let's see if we like that. I do like that. Okay, that's good. And mix it a little more. Okay, so we've got a green, we've got a teal, and we've got like a robin's egg kind of blue to do these in. Let's see if I want to soften this one down. I might actually already have one that's... Sorry, I don't mean to be talking to myself. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Is this the dirtied up one? Oh, but it should be. I love dirtying up colors. Adding brown, a touch of brown, gives the color an entirely new look. It takes a bright color down a step. I'm sure you're bored to tears because I'm sitting here playing with paint, and I'm sure that's not that much fun to watch. And I apologize, but I'm having fun, so whatever. Just kidding. Okay, what's this color now? I don't even know. But I know that that one's too bright. Where's the top? Did I lose it? No, that's for that one. Okay. So I've got several different blues and a green, like a mossy green. So those will be the colors that I paint my parks with for the majority of them. Let me get this stuff out of my way so I can see what I'm doing. Don't need the brown. Okay, so like I might do the gear, one gear in this color, and like take some of this color and kind of blend it in with it. These two colors seem to blend nice together. And then finish her out with this color. So then we have that with a couple different colors in it. Add a little more blue because I kind of want it to gradient out a bit. There we go. There. That came out nice. Stuff like that. And then like the bird cage, I'll do green because it'll be like a nice pop of green. So we'll do the gears. Like I'll do this one mostly lighter blue. I'm just trying to give some contrast, keep it in the same kind of color family, but give each thing its own kind of contrast. Like this one, I might take a little bit of this green and work it in to it a little bit. I've got a piece of paper over here I'm kind of running my brush on, dry brushing a little bit. Or take a little of that and now blend them. So that's got that look to it. See, and it just kind of gives it something, a little something something. It's like my favorite thing to say, a little something something. That's what it gives it. So I'm not even cleaning my brush off. I'm just dry brushing it out because these are basically the same colors. I'm going to blend them all together so it kind of does its little thing. So now I'm going to do the bird cage. Now on the bird cage, I'm going to put some rub and buff stuff or like one of those type of things. I'm going to do that to some things. I'm going to kind of give it a little something something with that. Because the bird cage, you know, it's supposed to be metal. I'm not really going for a metal look. But I'm going to add a little something to it to give it a shine, whether it's the rub and buff or maybe a glimmer mist type of spray or something. Just something to give it the shine that, you know, a bird cage really should kind of have, I guess. I'm trying to get in all these little slots in here, but that's kind of a pain in the butt. So I don't want to be looked at from the side and to see my messy gesso job, which is basically what you could see. Messy gesso. So I'm just messy painting. And what's nice is to blend colors. It's very easy to do, you know, while the paint's still wet, to take another color, like, you know, even go over it again if you need to. You know, if I wanted to take a little bit of this blue here and kind of, you could take it with your finger and it automatically gives it a totally different color. You know, it blends a little bit with the green and, you know, turns it into a really cool color that you might not you see. I don't know if that's gonna pick up, but that's what I'm talking about. It looks really cool. You might not be able to see it until I take a picture of it, but it does have a really cool effect. So we'll set that aside to dry. Move on to the next one. And here's a leaf, which let me dry brush my brush off. And I'm going to obviously do that in some green. This is going to be tucked underneath of those gears and popping out. So I'll do that and run some darker blue up it. Just give that a little interest. Done. Done. Let's see. I want to do the clock hands. The clock hands I want to do in the dark blue. And again, I might add something to these, like some shine, some rub and buff maybe. Maybe I'll give them a patinaed look or something. I don't know. Details I worry about later, because you can always paint over stuff. You can always do anything over things like this. So if I hate the color completely, I can change it to orange if I want to. It's really not that hard. Oh, is that the long one? So I'm going to do one in that color and one in this color with a little bit of green. That's why I kind of wanted all these colors to be in the same kind of muted family, because I wanted them all to be able to blend together so I can have that kind of gradient look to it, you know, like that, where it kind of one color feathers into the other color, into the other color. It gives it something. Butterfly, what color do I want you to be? I might do you a totally different color. I'm not sure on that. I might. This we're going to do in a dry brush. I'm going to do the green. And then I'm going to add a little bit of blue. And this I'm just kind of adding it and splotching it around. And that's done. Done! I'm banging them out. Luckily, you really only need one coat with this stuff. There's very few things I'll have to actually touch up. I keep forgetting about the edges, though. And we don't want to forget about the edges. No, sir. Actually, I probably will end up distressing the edges of all these anyway. So it's a moot point to sit here and do all the edges. What's next? I know I got more stuff. Oh, music note. And the word journey, which I'm not sure what I'm doing with that yet. So I'll move on to the music note, which I'll do in the darker blue. Look at my hands. I don't know how I end up so incredibly messy. Luckily, acrylic paint comes off so easy. A baby wipe will take all of this off of my hands in a matter of seconds, which is why I like baby wipes. I don't have kids, never had kids, but I've got baby wipes. And I had diapers in my cabinet from when I had a dog who I used to wrap the diaper around him this way, and he was a boy dog because he had diabetes and he would have accidents. So if I was going to be gone, I'd wrap the diaper around him so that he wouldn't pee on the floor. What else we got? Oh, we got this piece over here, which I want to do in dry brush. Some of this blue here. And a little bit of green. Okay, that's done, and then we've got the treble clef, which we will do in green. I gotta put my stamps down before I forget. Before I attach anything, I gotta put some stamping down. I forgot all about it. Usually I do stamping before I do the lace. I forgot. At least I don't have that much lace on there, so it won't be that big of a deal. And then I've got these little pieces of wood, which I think I'll do in this color blue, or at least that color. Okay. Oh yeah. I have that other butterfly, which I'm not sure what to do with, and another gear. Anything else while I'm thinking about it? Yep, a little flower. I keep stopping and then thinking that's it, and turning around and there's something else. What is happening? Okay. Shit. Excuse my French. I just dropped something on the floor and I was really proud of it. I was really proud of that. I just practically wrecked it. Okay. Gear and flower. I might do the flower in something different too, like the butterflies. Okay, so close up my paints, let that stuff dry, and then we will check in. I'm going to go take a break and clean my hands off and let this stuff dry, and then when I come back, which you won't notice the difference. It'll be like, and I'll be back. Then we will start assembling and figuring out what color I'm going to do the butterflies and stuff like that, and putting the stamping on and then assembling things. So I'll be back in a second.